One of the ways I could describe marketing is if you were going into an African market and there's a million stalls everywhere and everyone's trying to convince you. It's like mad chaos. And marketing is exactly what happens in those environments. It's trying to convince someone, trying to stand out amongst the chaos, and then trying to convince them to buy your brand, buy your product, fall in love with it.
Basic marketing is about promoting a brand or a service or a person.
For most of my studying I was at RAL, and I chose it because, well, basically they had the best communications department with the biggest opportunities and the best lecturers.
There's an element to me that is super artsy, and I love all the creative elements and being involved in all of that. And yet marketing communication allows me to do that in a stable career. I loved the training, how our minds were trained at RAL. We were taught to think beyond the textbook. We were taught to think beyond what we knew and what we understood. RAL really gives you a holistic view of things. And what it allows you to do is, if you know your passions in advertising or in marketing or in communication, it still allows you to sort of branch out if you wanted to, as you understand things.
It's not only just RAL. Johannesburg has a lot of huge associations with it.
If you go overseas and someone hears RAL, nobody knows where that belongs, where you would get that degree, or it doesn't help them identify where you're from and what kind of person you are. Whereas if they hear University of Johannesburg, that's a name that everyone knows. Everyone knows where Johannesburg is, and that's where you belong.
Well, strategy is both a process and a concept, which in essence means that it's a way of thinking. It's a logical, trained way of looking at things and analyzing. But it's also a concept where you do get involved in more creative elements. And one of the most important strategic elements of marketing is insight and understanding consumers. And that is done long before you actually even start dealing with a brand or dealing with its communications.
Marketing mostly is about being creative. It is about taking whatever that you have or that you know and taking that information and using it creatively for the good of your brand or for your own good. Creativity is part of my everyday job. Creativity is what I do all the time. In fact, everyone uses creativity every day at different degrees, at different levels of their days. But creativity in this job is very important. My job is to ensure creativity all right in terms of the solution for clients. If you're a person who likes to be in the know, someone who likes to know what is the in thing, what is the out thing, someone who's always interested in finding out new approaches, someone who's what they call cutting edge. You always want to know what is the best way of doing something.
I think it's someone who understands people a lot, who has a passion about understanding people. Because if you don't understand people, you can't do marketing.
If you have a great curious streak.
Somebody who's obsessive compulsive is a definite requirement.